All right, it's time to get that Cornelius Custom Services 8 o'clock hour up and running. Brought to you by Cornelius Custom Services. And anytime you hear on Wednesday the Tijuana Taxi, you know it's time to talk to Joe, the Bryan Insurance guy.
You know, at some point I think I'd like to maybe go to Tijuana and ride in a taxi just to see if they play that music as well.
I heard they do.
Like all of them? Like it's
That's
required?
all they do. That's all they play. They don't have any music in Tijuana other than that taxi deal.
Huh. That would be, you almost feel bad for the people in Tijuana.
I know, but you can Google it. It's there.
Wow.
Yeah.
As long as it's on Google, we all know it's true.
It's all true then. Well, you know, this has happened to a lot of people. And speaking of Mexico, I have been to Mexico and had this happen to me. Having your identity stolen.
Yep, happens a lot.
We've had our identity stolen in Los Angeles before. We've had our identity stolen here in Graham before. Identity theft is something that is on the rise, and it's a weird thing. Is that, you know, one morning you wake up, you look on a website, or you look at your statement, and you see that, well, you've got charges on your your credit card from someplace you don't know what in the world's going on. I mean,
Right.
That's something bad. How do you protect yourself against that?
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting. We had Chief Widener at Rotary Club. It's been a couple of months now, but he was there. He said one of the biggest things now, talking about thieves with cars and all that, it used to be they'd go in and they'd steal your GPS, they'd steal your phone or your radio. Now it's not that. What they're looking for is they're looking for your auto insurance card so they can get that information off of there. And you'd be amazed, once they get that, they can almost set up what they do is they sell that to people who will then in turn around and set up a new identity, basically you as a different person. And so there's a couple of different ways you can combat that. One of the things I always tell people now is, hey, take that auto insurance card, stick it in your pocket, stick it in your purse. Don't leave it in your car. Most of, not all, but most of the DPS and major cities have that information available to them in their car. If you've got insurance or not, you will always, if they request it, you always need to furnish it as well. But keep that in a wallet, keep that in a purse, don't leave that in a car. You cannot prevent identity theft. There's no product out there that 100% prevents it. Basically what happens is you have to manage it from a once it happens standpoint. And Bryan Insurance is actually hooked up with a company that will provide that service to you. And when I say service, there's two different kinds of services you can go for. You can go for what they call an assisted service, and you can go for what they call a managed service. Assisted service is if you feel like you've been the victim of identity fraud, i.e. you happen to take a look at your credit report one day and realize, oh my gosh, I don't own a house in California. I've never been to California. What is this? Or look at this car or whatever. You can contact the company and they will walk you through the steps on how to get things notarized, how to go through the paperwork, filing police reports, and doing all the legwork. That's the assisted way. It's kind of a pain in the neck because you feel like, hey, I've kind of been the victim of a crime here. Well, why do I have to do all the legwork? That's the assisted way. What you really want is the managed way. And basically what happens, it's about a 2-hour process. They'll walk through, you set up an account on a kind of a dashboard type of a thing. You work with the folks at the recovery center, and they'll walk you through about a 2-hour process, entering in information for you, going back and forth with you. And then you kind of are able to step back and you let them manage the situation for you. They're going to get all the paperwork filed. They're going to do all the legwork, and you get to go back to living your life.
Wow. It's always the first time it ever happened to me, I didn't really know what was going on. I looked at my bank statement, and I had a charge to a donut shop, a liquor store, and a hospital.
Yeah, that sounds like you, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. So I was sitting there going, but I don't ever remember being in Mexico when this took place.
There we go.
So the feeling of what do you do
right
when that happens?
And a lot of folks really don't know what to do. I can honestly tell you if that happened to me, I'd probably be in your same position. Oh, my gosh, what the heck do I do now? You go with a solution like this managed approach, and you basically, that takes care of all that for you. You call them up, you say, hey, you know what? I was looking at my bank statement, and I noticed, the donut, the liquor, and the hospital, but it was in Mexico, and I've never been to Mexico. That gets the ball rolling. That's going to kind of fire up the team, and